everybody. As you can see, I've got the headphones on. That means I'm recording on my phone, which means I've had another day where it just felt like there's not enough time to do the video properly and set up the camera and everything. But accountability is important to me, so I'm doing this on my phone just to make sure that I check in this Monday. What's happening right now is that I'm feeling defeated. I'm not gonna lie about it. Last week when I did my math and realized that I was still net negative for Q2 this year, really just did not feel good. It did not feel good. Since I was 14 years old, work has been a sanctuary for me. It's been a place where I feel accepted. It's been a place where, I show up, there's a really clear expectation, there's a clear amount of resources. I get to figure out how to use those resources to meet that expectation. In general, I surpass the expectation and create even more resources. Right now, the expectation, of course, is that I run my company successfully. The resources are definitely there. I know how much resources I have. And then in general, I have an expectation that I'm able to turn these resources, this amount of resources into this amount of resources. Because of COVID, partially, but also because I no longer want to use an unrealistic amount of my own labor to make those resources happen. And because I'm trying to run this company in a way that I've never run any of my other companies and be really clear about having a body-led working style and focus on what my physical and emotional needs are as a part of, honestly, what the spend of the company is. Not just thinking of dollars in and dollars out, but also thinking of my long-term ability to do this kind of work. Thinking about the quality of work that I produce. I'm very mindful of my energy and how things feel now when I'm doing them, which I never cared about before in my companies, to be honest. Yesterday, my husband said, I would rather do the wrong thing the right way than do the right thing the wrong way. And that's kind of where I am right now. I think I spent the last 25 years of my career doing the right thing the wrong way, harming myself, harming others, putting unrealistic expectations on others for their working product, for the labor that they invested in organizations that I worked for that either didn't pay them or didn't pay them well. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to show up like that. I don't want to have an expectation of free labor from my brothers and sisters or discounted labor. That's not what I'm here for. I am here to support my life. I want this work to support my life. And as Letteromatic grows and expands, that's what I wanted to do for the people that work there too. I want their work to support their life. I don't want work to be my life anymore. It used to be. For a really long time it was. And also because for a really long time my work was my life, it is really hard to show up in a place where all I want to do is work. And getting clients is harder. Getting clients is harder than it's ever been. And yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's a reality. I feel, like I said, I feel defeated. I feel defeated by this. And also, I know that I go from feeling defeated to feeling victorious to feeling defeated to feeling victorious. There is a certain amount of a roller coaster that you're going to put yourself on when you decide to start your own business. I've talked about it before. That's just how it is. Because we're all under extreme stress in different other ways, that's making it worse. It's impacting it. But at the end of the day, starting your own business, it's a risky thing to do. It's a risky, unpredictable world. And in general, within reason, I do love taking risks. And I do love, I love it when things are unpredictable because I do love getting surprised by the world. I love that stuff. So that said, the cure to me feeling defeated lately has been me reaching out to my peer group. Because what I find is that I'm not struggling in isolation. Almost everybody I talk to in every different industry, all walks of life, all positions in an org are dealing with the same thing. And to me, it boils down to we are either struggling as workers with leadership that doesn't serve us, or we are struggling as leaders wanting to serve our workers and not necessarily knowing how, or feeling like we have the resources to do that. And sometimes, in fact, most of the time, we're doing both. We're struggling with leadership that doesn't serve us, and then we're also struggling to be a good leader to the people that report, that direct report to us, and it's very hard to mush those. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that. I think that part of it is we need to stop looking at ourselves as individuals in this. We need to stop looking at the narrative of, oh, I'm a good leader, or I'm a bad leader, or I'm trying to be a good leader, or I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to lead the people this way. Yes, we should always be the main character in our own story. Yes, we should always celebrate ourselves. Yes, we should always center ourselves in what we need as an individual. Also, we need to understand that the thing we're fighting, the thing I'm fighting, the thing you're fighting is generally the same thing. It's this colonizer mindset that's part of America, the United States specifically. It's capitalism, it's racism, it's sexism, it's homophobia, it's transphobia. All that stuff is a big package that is a huge part of our culture and has been a huge part of our culture for generations. This is not the story of us as leaders dealing with this impacting negative culture. It's not a David and Goliath story. We need to stop thinking about it like that. It is a man versus himself or man versus the elements story. It's us clashing and coming to terms with and figuring out our own shit as a people, so as Americans, as the United States, but also for us, thinking about our generational trauma, thinking about our generational resources, our generational wealth, our generational privilege and lack of privilege, and the ways those intersect with all of us. All of us have those intersections. So that's the big thought for this week. On to my accountability piece. This is what I want to work on this week. I'm going to keep doing the top 2 priorities. I talked about it last week, just outlining top 2 priorities, getting those done before anything else. It does mean that stuff falls off my radar. That's just happening. That's just going to happen when I'm overwhelmed, and I'm overwhelmed. Other thing is continuing talking to my peers. Talking to my peers has been the balm that soothes me, and it's been the thing that is showing me what's going on in the world. And if nothing else, it's keeping my head on. It's keeping me together. So I'm going to keep doing that. I am also going to be open to new possibilities. I'm not sure what those are, but I know that if I continue to struggle in isolation with this problem, increasing our client load, I'm going to continue to feel isolated and like I'm struggling. So I got to do something different if I want to get something different as a result. The other thing is practicing self-compassion. You know, I am very hard on myself. I need to practice self-compassion so that I have the energy to continue to do the work that I need to do for this business and for my family. And then my other thing is be quiet, do the next right thing. I don't necessarily know what I'm supposed to do next. I don't necessarily know what the perfect or right course of action is. The only way I can know even a portion of that is to look inside of myself and listen to what my principles, my beliefs, my everything in that realm, what that tells me. So that is what I'm going to do. I will be back Thursday to tell you how I stuck with these intentions. As always, this video is brought to you by my letter writing service, Letteromatic. We write you a newsletter in 30 minutes every month. Check us out at letteromatic.com. Bye, everyone.